This video was brought to you by Patreon. Help support future ES Repair videos by becoming a patron for as little as $1 per month. As a premium member, you'll get the latest news, special offers, questions and answers, recognition in videos, early access to new videos, channel recognition, behind the scenes, and more. Show your support by joining ES Repair on Patreon today. Hello, I am your host, Mr. Fixit from ES Repair. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the boot order on your computer. Now, the boot order is designed so when the computer gets done doing the post, then it looks for the operating system to load. Now, by default, it goes to device 0, which is the first hard drive. You may also know it as drive C. Well, what happens is the boot order allows the computer to use different devices to load up an operating system. You can use a internal hard drive, you can use a CD drive or DVD drive, you can also use a USB flash drive to load up an operating system. Now, the biggest thing about it is most manufacturers will set it as default for device 0 or drive 0. Now, you can change the order in which the computer looks for an operating system. Now, this comes in handy because if for some reason Windows has a problem and it can't load or it can't boot, then instead of having to go through all the process trying to change the boot device, you can automatically tell the computer exactly what devices to look for the operating system. Now, this comes in handy because if Windows is present on the drive, your computer is going to continue to try to boot it up. Even if it fails, it's just going to go in the same old cycle, get stuck into either automatic repair, or it's going to get stuck in trying to boot up Windows, and then you're stuck in an endless loop. The boot order will help you change that, because if you did come into that problem, all you had to do, plug in the USB drive or put in your recovery disk in your CD-ROM drive, and then turn the computer on, and then it will automatically boot from that device. So in this video, I will show you how to change the boot order, and it's fairly simple. The first part is going to deal with the legacy BIOS, which you see on your screen right now, and the other part of the video will talk to you about how to change it using the new UEFI platform. Now, you'll notice that some places and some manufacturers still call it BIOS, but it's still the Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. It's a whole lot different than what the original BIOS was. Now, for the BIOS computers, when you first turn them on, you're going to see a screen like this, and it's going to give you some options. You'll notice that if I press my delete key, I can go into BIOS setup. So the first thing you want to do is when you see this screen, you should notice what it wants you to press to get into BIOS setup. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and press delete. Now, once you've chosen the proper key to get into BIOS setup, you're going to see a similar screen, something like this. Now, yours will be different. This is just the one that's for this particular computer. As you can see, you have the tabs across the top. You have main, advanced, power, boot, tools, etc. And what you'll want to do is you can't use a mouse or anything in this section for BIOS. You have to use a keyboard. And if you look to the right, you'll see the keys that you can use to interact with the BIOS. And what you want to do is you want to use your direction arrow keys and then go to the right over to boot. Now, this right here, you'll see boot device priority. It'll say boot device priority, or it'll say boot order, or something of that nature. This is to let you know what we're looking for. So you'll go ahead and press enter once it's selected. And what this does now is show you the current order that it is set up to boot. Now, as you can see, it is set for my CD-ROM being the first boot device. Then, if it can't find the bootloader, then it's going to go to the SATA drive, which is the internal hard drive. And if it can't find anything there, then it goes to the removable device, which is USB. Now, to do anything here, you can change which order. Now, by default, it's going to say SATA or internal hard drive, somewhere along that nature, which is always booted up first. That was to help speed up the process. But if your computer has any problems, then you can tell the computer to go ahead and boot from this device. Now, with Windows 8 and 10, you may have some issues with that, because sometimes what happens, as long as the bootloader is present, then the computer will attempt to try to boot from that device. Well, if there is a problem, because there have been cases to where Windows gets stuck in a loop and it can't boot up, or it gets stuck in automatic repair. Well, this allows you to skip the protocol. So if something does go wrong, all you have to do is put a CD-ROM in, or put a removable device, recovery drive if you created one, like I showed earlier in the previous videos. Then you can plug it in, turn it on, and let it automatically boot from that device so you can repair Windows. Now, once you choose the order you want, what I would recommend, depending on your computer, is you can have it go from CD-ROM if you have it. You can also have it go to removable device, and then use the SATA drive or the internal drive as a last resort. So if something goes wrong, then you have other options to help you repair your computer's Windows operating system. Now, once you choose the order you want, all you need to do is press the F10 key, as you see on the screen. You're going to see a message come up here, and then you could just choose OK. And what it's going to do is restart the computer so the new changes can take effect. Now, the newer computers that you have that's been built since 2013 or 14, they use the new unified extensible firmware interface that I've demonstrated earlier videos. Now, to change the boot order on these, it's slightly different. Same principle applies. We have to go into the old BIOS, which the old computers, you called them BIOS. These are called UEFIs. And to get to it, what you have to do is you need to go in the lower left corner. This works with Windows 8 and Windows 10. And what you'll do is right click the Windows icon, and you'll see this menu pop up. And you want to go down here to where it says shut down or sign out. And what you want to do is on your keyboard, hold down one of the shift keys, doesn't matter which one. Hold the shift key down, and then click restart. Now you should see the screen. It says please wait. Now in a moment you can let go of the shift key, and you're going to come to this screen. And this is, you've probably seen this before. And with most cases like this, you could just simply use a device, and then you can have the computer reboot to that device. Now, there might be a time, and I have seen cases before, to where the computer won't even boot up Windows, because in order for this to work, Windows has to be able to boot in order to get to this point. Now, in the event that you can't get to it under standard means, then what you'll do, just go down here to troubleshoot, and then go to advanced options, and you'll notice right here, you'll see where it says UEFI firmware settings. This is the option that you need to go to. What this is going to do is restart, so you can change the UEFI firmware settings. Just choose restart. You're going to come to this screen, and as you can see, it tells you exactly which F key to press. The one I need is number 10. So on your keyboard, you'll press the number 10. Next, you're going to come to this screen. This is the basic information about your computer, as you've seen a while ago when I showed you the other computer that I have. Now, you'll do the same thing. You'll have to go over here to System Configuration. Now your computer may be different. It may say boot, or it may say boot order, but this is where you want to go, and you want to look for boot options, which I have listed right here, and that's highlighted. Just press enter. Now keep in mind your mouse will not work in this part, so you will have to use the directional arrow keys on the keyboard to maneuver. Now if you look on the bottom of your screen, it will show you what keys you can use to interact with the firmware. Now what we want to do is go down towards the bottom, and you'll see right here where it says UEFI boot order. This is what we're looking for. Now you also want to check and make sure that USB boot is enabled. This will allow your computer to boot up from a USB. Now if you have a CD-ROM drive, you want to make sure that your CD-ROM boot is also enabled. Now once you come down here, you'll see that by default it does show that the OS boot manager is first. That's default. Now to change this, you'll use F5 and F6 keys, and you can move them into which order you want. Now because I already have a CD internal drive, and I have a USB flash drive or USB hard disk, I want the computer to check for the CD-ROM drive first, then check for a USB drive or USB hard drive. If nothing's there, then go ahead and go on to the OS boot manager, and then it will boot up Windows. Now this doesn't really slow down your computer. It only takes a few seconds for it to go through this process, but it comes in very handy if your computer does crash and you cannot get it to boot up. Even if you can't get it into choose an option, then this will help you just plug in the device and then let the computer automatically boot from it and save you a lot of time and hassle. Once you have your selection chosen, you can have the way you want to have it set up. Now you can have it set up like this. Once you're done, you need to press the F10 key. If you look down to the bottom, it'll tell you that you can choose the F10 key, and this will allow it to save and exit, and that's what you want to do. You want it to save and exit. It's going to ask you if you're sure that you want to exit saving the changes. You want to select yes and then choose and press enter. Now your computer will start, and then it will boot up to the computer. Well, this concludes this video, and keep in mind once you have it set, anytime that you run into a problem with Windows, you can always insert a CD or your recovery drive USB stick that I showed earlier, so you can help get your computer working again. Well, this has been a presentation by ES Repair. I'm your host, Mr. Fixit. Thank you for watching.